Hi, I'm Dave Genz for Midwest Outdoors. Today we're out here on a Clearwater Lake sight fishing, and we'll give you some of the tips and tricks to catch more fish through the Clearwater Lakes in midwinter. You know, sight fishing, looking down your hole and watching how your jig works, it's a great experience. You can learn a lot about the habits of the fish with what your jigging motions do according to your rod tip. If you've never tried sight fishing, get yourself a dark fish house and go out and look down the hole in some clear lake. You can see looking down into that, through the hole down into the water, that it's almost like looking into an aquarium. Oh, got him. Okay, there he is. Oh, come on. Oh, look at that. There's a nice bluegill caught sight fishing. Watched him come in, watched him eat it. You know, that's a, nice bluegill anywhere. You know, it's probably 8.5, 9 inches. And they look a lot bigger than that when they're down the hole. Too bad they aren't as big as what they look like. I think that's why the big ones always get away, because they look a lot bigger when they're in the water. You can totally change the action of your lure by adjusting the knot. So something to remember, if things aren't going quite right, just slide the knot around the eye of the hook and it'll hang different. But you can see there it's hanging straight up and down. If I slide it over this way, you know, it hangs at an angle. So I like to get it hanging at about a 45. So when you put it in the water, it has a nice swimming motion to it. And anytime you're using plastics, or any kind of live bait for that matter, you want to start right underneath the ice and fish that area between the ice and the tops of the weeds. That's a key area, especially for crappie. So start that lure right under the ice and work it down. And then sight fishing, I can sit and watch it. And you can see just what it takes to make that tail swim nicely in the water. There's one coming up to it now. Coming up. It's got to keep that little tail moving in the water. You know, sometimes it's hard not to stop, but it's important to keep that thing swimming. I had this nice fish on, and he got down in the weeds. I don't believe this is any sunfish that's on the end of this line. Come outside here to check out a few holes with using the Vexilar instead of sight fishing. It's just quicker to check out these holes outside, and this fish come just roaring in there and stopped and took off and come in again, stopped and took me down into the weeds. Lots of weeds on this spot here. Well, I got it coming. Holy cripes. What have I got here? Oh, broke my line, but I got him. Look at that. You know, a trout. Kind of a added species here. We didn't really count on catching one of these today.
Now remember, if I give you a better hole than mine, I want it back.
Well, that's what's really nice about these fish traps, is that it's really easy to move to the next spot. Get this hole skimmed out here. It's really important when you're sight fishing, you want to make sure that the inside of the fish house is nice and black to cut out all that light. That's when you can see down the hole the best. Oh, that was kind of fun. That bass swam right up there and just ate this thing. There he is. Oh, it ain't a very big one, but any bass is a good bass. There's interesting. Now I got this extra fly on my line and he's hooked in my finger. Just a, I don't know, 11-inch bass, I suppose that is. Nothing big, just a nice little fish. We'll just let him go. What do you got there?
Sunfish. Gosh, I
we're gonna get that bucket full yet today. You see them little specks swimming around on the screen. That's zooplankton, and that's what the fish feed on in the wintertime. They swim around with their mouth open, suck that stuff into their mouth, gets caught in their gills, and they're able to swallow it. And that's that mush you find in your stomach when you clean them. Now we actually imitate that when we are jigging with our rods. We give that little kicking motion and rocking motion that we give it. That's what we're doing. We're imitating them little things that you see swimming around on your screen. go, another one. There we got another bluegill caught sight fishing. You know, so if you've never tried this, go out, get in a dark fish trap so you can look down the hole good, and try sight fishing and watch them fish come in and bite. You can learn a lot on how them fish react to your baits and how to jig it properly. Stay tuned, Big Bucks Outdoors will be right back.